Urartu. According to an Assyrian cuneiform script, this region of the world, now known as the Armenian Highland, was once home for ancestral Armenians, the Urartians, Naidis, the Hyasas, and the Hittites. Artifacts uncovered in the region suggest that ancestral Armenians have developed a well-heeled culture way before the Egyptian pyramids were erected, while the Greek civilization was nowhere to be found, and about 2,000 years before the first Chinese dynasty was established. The ancestral Armenians possessed distinctive artistic and technical skills. They made tools, idols, and weapons, smelting copper, bronze, silver, and gold. They were savvy astronomers. They invented methods and instruments to map and track planets. They named their capital Dushba, today's Van, where they designed an aqueduct that is operational to this date. They built the fortress of Van, lying at the banks of Lake Van, where abundantly swam dadech, a unique kind of carp that adapted to the brackish waters of the lake. At the north end of the lake rests the tiny island of Akhtamar, and perched on its rocky landscape lies an Armenian architectural marvel, Surpkhach, the Holy Cross, built in the 10th century by architect Manuel. On the interior walls of the Holy Cross, exquisite frescoes depict biblical events from the life of Jesus. On the exterior walls are carved images of Adam and Eve, David and Goliath, and the Madonna and Child. And on one of the walls of Surpkhach are etched in stone the memories of the Armenian Genocide by the Ottoman Turks. The Armenian priest protecting his flock. The fear in the eyes of Armenian children. An Armenian family being deported. Armenian villages during forced evacuation. The look of a starved Armenian orphan. A feeble Armenian mother still clung to her child. An Armenian couple hanged as an example. A perished Armenian family. Ethnic cleansing of the Armenians. Intellectuals on sticks. More Armenian orphans. Mass deportation. The genocide continues. As an attempt to fade these memories from the wall of the genocide, the current Turkish government, ardent to its modus operandi, has decided to turn this historical Armenian gem into a museum church rather than a functional church by removing the cross and the bells from its steeple. On January 19, 2007, the headline of Agos, an Armenian bilingual newspaper in Turkey, read, Akhtamar. And in that issue, the editor-in-chief of Agos, Hrant Dink, referring to the renovation of Surpkhach, wrote, "The Turkish state calls on Armenian historians to discuss history, but does not shy from trying its own intellectuals who have an unorthodox rhetoric on the Armenian genocide. It restores an Armenian church in the southeast, but only thinks, how can I use this for political gains in the world? How can I sell it?" And on that same day as this editorial was just hitting the newsstands, Hrant Dink was violently murdered at the doorsteps of Agos.
The murder of Hrant Dink, one of Turkey's best-known journalists who spoke out against the mass killing of Armenians a century ago, has been condemned in Turkey itself and around the world. President Chirac of France called it an abominable act, depriving Turkey, he said, of one of its most courageous voices. Hrant Dink was shot in broad daylight in Istanbul.
Hrant regularly received hate mail with threats to his life, and he compared himself to a dove. In his column in Agos, he once wrote, "I see myself as frightened, the way a dove might be, equally obsessed by what goes on my left and right, front and back. My head is just as mobile and fast." He complained about the indifference of the Turkish government to this atmosphere of terror. Do you ministers know the price of making someone as scared as a dove? The following is an excerpt from the eulogy read by Hrant's wife, Hrant Dink.
I was chosen to be the spouse of my Chutak. I am here today full of immense grief and dignity. My children, my family, you and I are in mourning. This silent love bestows upon us some fortitude. It enables us to experience within us a sorrowful calm. In the Bible, the Gospel of John, verse 15-13, it is stated that there is no greater love than for a person to give up his life for the sake of his friends. My dear friends, today we send off half of my soul, my beloved, the father of my children and your brother. We are going to conduct a march without any slogans and without showing any disrespect to those around us. Today, we are going to generate immense sound through our silence. Today begins the moment when the darkness of the valleys rises towards brightness.
The name Hrant is derived from the Armenian word Harad, meaning fiery red planet, Mars. As his name suggests, Hrant will glisten like a lambent planet in every Armenian mind. His spirit, like a dove, will soar in every Armenian soul, and his image will remain etched to the wall of the genocide forever.
Poetic,